Hello, sports card friends. Got a video challenge for you. I want to invite members of the community to interview them to talk about their sports card hustle. How are they sports card investing, real sports card investors? And what I want to do in this series, and my goal is, and I'll be honest, I've spoken about this several times, tried to jumpstart this program. I honestly think there's other channels that can do a better job with this, but I'm going to start it here. And I'm reaching out to several friends that I know. I want to hear about what is your sports card hustle? How are you making money investing, selling, flipping cards? I'm not looking for guys who are buying their PSA 10s and selling them next week at another PSA 10 because they're looking for trends because football cards go up and down. I'm looking for people who grind, real grinds in the hobby. I'm also going to say this too. I'm going to edit these, so I don't want to talk to anybody who does repacks. Okay, if you repack, I don't. That's not what I'm interested in. But I want to talk to people who are buying cases. Like I'll give you an example. I've seen some channels who talk about buying a case of a specific product, and then they rip the case, and then they're able to sell cards off the case. And are they able to make money off the case? Are they able to do positive off the case? Do they grade cards off the case? I believe there are many people who do this, who buy cases of a specific product that they like, and they grind that case. They sell it, they trade it, they grade it, whatever it is, and they make a profit off that. Whether it's because they build their PC or they build whatever it is, but they are people who are investing their time and money and profiting on sports cards. Other ones are people who are in breaks. I know I'm not the only one who does this, but I know there are people who buy into breaks, not randomly buying the breaks or buying the weird breaks or chase weird products, but specifically have strategies. They go after, again, similar idea of they're either buying to sell raw, to sell grade, whatever it might be doing, but they are acquiring cards with a plan on how they sell those cards. That's really my niche. I'll be happy to kind of share my story with that. Let's also talk about people who buy lots, right? There's a lot of people talking about that now, but I want to get more into the nitty gritty. There are people I know, dealers who will buy people's lots. What are they paying for? How much are they paying for? How do they come up with those valuations? What are their methods of selling? I know I'm a big fan of chasing cardboard, but I want to go more nitty gritty into the breaking down of the selling process. How do you decide which card to grade? And which ones to grade with whom, and why do you go that direction? So we're going to talk to different people and get their perspective. I want people to also come to this in this interview process and share with me what's the investment needed? How much money do you need to get involved in this? And what does money mean to your investment? In other words, if you start with $500, can you expect to make how much over this much time? And if someone gave you 5,000, are you able to multiply that business the same way? Little tip, I'd love to see some of these ideas that others will share in interviews, maybe spark other sports card investors to invest or learn or co-op in some opportunities. I'll give you another quick example. Back in the Zion Williamson chase, some friends of mine, we all went out and started buying Zion Optic cards, the Zion Optic rated rookies. With the goal was simply to buy them, grade them, and sell them. And we did that, did it very well. And timing, I'll be honest, if you go back to the timing of this, the Prisms did much better than the optics did in the market. The marketing timing on the optics was a little lagging, but it's just an example of how we pulled together as a team. And there were 4 or 5 of us. We looked at how we were going to buy them. We had a kind of a goal, how much to spend on buying them. We had a pool of money to go out and buy the cards we wanted, whether we bought them at shows or in Facebook groups or wherever it was. Once we bought them, then we shipped them off in groups to get graded. When they came back graded, whether they were 9s or 10s, we sold them. We had processes for selling them. And then we paid off the 4 members of the group, got some dividends. And that's just one quick example of a grind. And we know there are a lot more people out there doing lots of other grinds in the sports card world. These are just a few examples. Again, I want to hear from you, whether you're a breaker, right? I know there's some people who do breaks. And I'm not talking about some massive, large breaking company. I'm talking about you've been doing the breaks and you've been doing it for a while. Love to talk to some pre-COVID breakers. Some of you have already reached out to, but guys, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, whatever it is, I'd love to hear about your breaking process. Everything from sorting to shipping. What have you learned? What lessons? How are you getting product? How are you going to get product in the future? Also love to talk to subbers, people who do subgroups, right? Why are you doing it? What's the value of it? What are you learning? What are lessons learning? How much money are you making? What are your concerns? I'm going to talk about all those things. So hope you guys will join me in these future videos. Like I said, I've already reached out to a few people. I'm hoping this video will attract more. If you are interested, please reach out to me on IG. It's probably the preferred way. Instagram, that's ZiggyNo Raw. That's ZiggyNo, ZiggyNo, Raw. On IG, send me a message and we'll set up time. Again, I'm very flexible in this. I'd love to do these live or recorded, really up to you, what you feel best with. I'd love to have audience participation. If you're watching this, there's questions you'd like to ask these people, please drop a question or comment below. Again, the goal here is we want to look for people who are real sports card investors grinding. And I'm not trying to poke anybody, but I think that is where the real lessons can be learned. And organic growth takes place in this hobby. Hope you'll join me.